Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Alright, let's kick it down here live on Pizza Race TV. Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League here on the road course. Yes, indeed. The Next Gen Cup Series face off here at Watkins Glen International for the first time this season. And for the first time in this series, a road course has been added to the schedule here. Hello, everyone. I am the Crusader Chris Trout, joining you guys here today. So we're getting ready to get down to business here, get ready down to the action here on the call. The number 9 of Peter Irons will start him on the pole, the outside, and that 21 will be Corey Abbott. Row number 2, and the number 12, it'll be Elinson Norgard. The outside, that 43 is William White. Row number 3 is going to be Caleb Clifton, and number 42, the outside. And the 48, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn. Row number 4 is Jimmy Hayden, the 24, the outside, and the 41 is Brian Beeman. Row number 5 is Austin Louder, and the 14, the outside, and the 5, the Throttle, Chantel Bottle. Row number 6, and the 76, Mike Wright out of the outside, and the 5-7, William Mann Sr. Row number 7 is going to be piloted by Kenny McGrath, and the 15, the outside, and the 20 is Andrew Hardcastle. Row number 8 and the 22, Jeff Folks, on the outside, it will be Will Rempe piloting the number 55. Row number 9 is going to be the 61 of Chris Schuessler, the outside, it'll be the 2 of Chad Lancaster. And finally, row 10 is Hunter Hansen, and the 13, the outside, Arthur Clements, the number 3. Your field of drivers is now set to go onto the stage, set to go on the track race bands, and we are getting set here for the action at hand. It's about to get a little crazy here on Pizza Race TV. Peter Irons, by the way, setting the number 1 spot here. Very interesting dilemma there, and very quick on the pace, surprisingly. Being that fast back, that tough there. I think Norgard and Abbott definitely got to keep their hands on that wheel and strapped up tight here to have any chance, as we're about to get our driver lineup here set on the position, set on the spot. Yes, there is our little track map to give you guys a little inspiration, let you know where everyone's at on this track here. the field, getting set for the action at hand here. A winding, twisting little road. If you couldn't quite see our little track map there, that is what they are currently going to be facing up against. Multiple corners, multiple turns, a few bus stops here or there, and a whole lot of hard racing to mix in. I would know. I've got a 1 win on this track, and I got a little bit lucky taking down the rattlesnake rubber con on to that certain section. I tell you, the next time you want to try telling me about that bus stop being a bit of a complete stop in the road, no, it ain't a stop in the road. It's really just stop somebody from taking you off the road. I'll tell you that right now. But such a unique little track as well. Again, many corners to pass, many tight ends here to really work around, many hard runs to burrow up a speed. This car as well is going to be very temperamental. We already have some temperamental issues with Hunter Hansen down there. Hansen, it's not the end of the race, and you haven't won the race yet. You're not supposed to be doing burnouts over there on the bus stop, sir. Brian Spence, my boy, I know you're rooting for Sammy Harrell usually, but we don't have Sammy Harrell in this race, sir. I mean, you can stick around, Brian, if you want, but Sammy Harrell is not in this race, my friend. I'm sorry to say. But it is great to see you here back on the show, and great to hear from you once more here. You're long-time viewers. I love seeing you long-time guys and gals coming on in multiple times here and have a little listening. So it's always a pleasure to have you guys down. Speaking of having you guys down, it's time to get down to business here. Off the distance through the front stretch here. Set the field up and ready to rock them out. It's green flag racing. 35 laps the distance for your Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League. Brian's going to stick around. He wants to see the action. Hear the call. I love it. And out of the gate. It's going to be an interesting one. Hard drive off and hard problems off. Jeff Oaks spinning right around and problems off that front straightaway. And a multiple collision course. Drivers all over the place here. Everybody trying to get out of there. Robert Kahn in there. Everyone just completely spun around. 3 or 4 drivers out of contention early. You can't make mistakes on this kind of a road course. You can't make mistakes with this kind of a car. And this already showing you this here. Peter Irons, though, despite the fact Corey Abbott got a great run on the inside in turn number 1. They had no room for error, no room for mistakes. Caution is out on the track. They're going to get everyone rescheduled, refired. That was a wild first lap there. And usually some road course ringers, usually some heavy hitters there. But no, in this case, they did not start out with a heavy hit. They got put into a complete and utter hit. That was not what they wanted to do. Let's take a look at the replay here. I'm going to try to get a chopper cam on this one, see if we can get a good look at like where all this started from. Presented by Six Sigma Sim Racing. Here is your Pizza Race TV Instant Replay. Well, Kahn was trying to avoid the 42 and then got into that. We saw Oaks also getting out of control there. Looks like that is the... Trying to get a number on that one. Look at everybody, though. They're just trying to get out of that mess. That was Austin Louder there that got into the bind there out of the gate. Taking another look at it from our blimp cam here. Might be a little bit hard to see. You can see right there down the bottom there, you see on the left side, that's Jeff Oaks. That's where he got tripped up. You can see Louder gets crashed in. That the 42 was Caleb Clifton. That initially started the chain reaction, if you will. And we'll take one more look at Jeff Oaks here and see where exactly his run went wrong here. If we can get a good look at our onboard camera here. He was already looking for a lot of spots. He got really tight though off that. He was braking quick, but he was also trying to avoid everyone. On one hand, I don't blame him for trying to make that move, but that was certainly a risky maneuver to say the least here. So. Well, we're going to go back to our live timing now and see how the drivers are faring from that. But, yeah, definitely not the start anybody wanted to see. So that being the start of this race here and being the start of our packs, I'm not really sure where everybody will be able to kind of keep their momentum up and see what can go down from there. But all I can say is you gotta be careful with every turn, every line you get. And these guys know they cannot be making any more mistakes after this. One mistake, you can get away with it. After that, the rest, they say, is up to you. So Peter Irons, right now you're going to be a race leader of the field, currently just trying to get squared back up on the track. We're only a couple laps into this already. 35 laps to the distance, and again, we'll see a lot of hard cornering and a lot of hard turns really to be had, and a lot of drivers just trying to make amends to themselves here throughout. But I think the biggest thing we're going to be noticing is, again, tire wear. Not going to be a big factor. These next-gen Cup cars on a road course, for some reason, just do not burn the tires up as much as other road course cars do. Fuel will be a bit of a necessity. It'll be a bit of an issue. And then I would say the biggest issue is just the fact they're driving pretty much a brick house on the track, while at the same time trying to maneuver through some corners and through some extremely tight turns. I'd say, yeah, it could be a little bit of a hassle here. Field will work their way around currently, everyone. Just trying to get the tires warmed up a bit, trying to get their nerves out of the way, trying to focus on everything else they got going on here. Well, now the caution lights have finally came off of the pace car. The drivers now that stayed out and stayed in this now have their golden opportunity to go at it a little bit. I'm curious to know how we're going to do on this restart, though, because, again, that turn one restart, oh boy, that was not a good restart. Not unfeasible, though. They still can figure it out. They can still get this dialed up a bit. They'll have about 31 laps coming to the restart. I think the biggest thing, honestly, what I'm going to be seeing and looking for is if they can get past the first corner and they can drive along this track and get the racing out of the way, I think they'll be okay. But I think a lot of drivers, when they signed into the Oval League, most of them prepared for the ovals. But this next-gen Cup car, again, was designed and made for road courses as well. And in my opinion, I've ran this thing now on road courses, I've ran on ovals. And if you want my definition of opinion on this car, I don't think it's a very good oval car. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's a very good oval car. You can come at me for that one. But when I drove it on the road course, the steering, the way it controlled, the way it ran, even though the braking was still pretty garbage, it still was something I could work around and figure out. I could not for the life of me get it figured out on an oval, but at least to a long-term and extent. But the road courses, it seemed like the car was kind of coming more naturally to me in that kind of regard. And for the record, I am not a road course driver nor a road course guy. I've been only getting into it literally just because I got on iRacing, and I've been figuring it out from there. So Ovals are my bread and butter. So, you guys can come at me for that one, but that's just my opinion. Here we go now, right around turn number 4, corner here, the final turn. Down the straight, into the gate, into the speeds. Let's hit them up and bring it back to the line. Here we go, green flag is out again. Well, Iron's wasting no time there. Well, the other driver's wasting no time either. Whoa, McGrath. Here they clip in the back of that number 5 on throttle. Chantel Bottle. Right down to the S-slope turns. All drivers, much cleaner restart. This is looking good. Much cleaner restart. A little slow down just a little bit there. Looked like I'm in a little problem down there. Looks like that might be Mike Wright on the 76. It is. Hunter Hansen. Trapped on the inside binder on the right side. Drivers moving their way to the chains. They clip them off right down to the turns. Entering to the bus stop. Oh-ho! And hey, little hey-ho from him, Jimmy Hayden. William White got a piece of him there coming off that corner. And Hayden now having to fight back. McGrath trying to keep him on the right side, trying to hope for the speed. West Guy was a better start. It's not going to be too long of a day, I don't think. Yeah, folks, if you want to talk about road course ringers too, this guy, I will say to the end of my day, is probably going to be the toughest one, other than Khan, to have to worry about and deal with. I had so much pressure to work with on him and had to fix him out, and you'll see a little bit too. But what I'm talking about tomorrow evening, as Push Scoot's Racing League will finally present the Honda Civic Type R's at Canadian Tire. You don't want to miss it. 30 laps now remain. Hayden trying to clear back up to the gas run and get right back underneath the speed. Shifting through the gears, the momentum burrowing through to the right side. This is going to be a troublesome spot. There's the bump, and into the grass. That will be a penalty. Cut the corner and you will be slowing down. Trying not to slow down too much, but that was definitely a cutting of the corner, so the officials in the iRacing end will give that a penalty, or they will decide their fate. They're going to have to be very careful about that, know where they're at in each turn, each corner. Side by side, driving them off. McGrath, good run there. Listen to how slow and methodical that off-throttle time is tempoing through these cars. You can just hear in the car itself, they are not trying to break or hammer down as much as they are usually in these kind of races. This is a much more relaxed and smooth-paced kind of run. You've really got to time your strategy and time your tempo. This car will force you to do that every single time. Peter Irons right now currently leading this race out by a long margin. If you consider how Corey Abbott and Nayland Beauregard usually run. Nayland's the defending champion, trying to get himself onto the top spot. Corey Abbott looking to go back and with this one and win out another race. Hunter Hansen have a little problems there off the bus stop. Gets himself into the grassy plains just a little bit as Mike Rideout and Austin Lauder have a little bit of a drive off. Mobile 1 Ford Ford Mustang of Lauder trying to get right up there to right out as both drivers continue to dictate the pace and dictate the control. Cam Crawford coming on board saying the rattlesnake is cutting his way through the field. He is. He's making his way in, he's making his way out, but he's got a long road to bring. He started 6th spot today. Below 48. He's had some good runs on these road courses, and again, I must reiterate, I've gone to war with this guy on this same track. Although we were driving a much more interesting road course car in terms of what we were driving those Chevy Clay Corvette C.ARs. And I tell you, driving that thing against him, trying to hold him off each corner, each line, each turn, it's an adrenaline rush I don't think anyone can truly explain. So far, though, everyone's seemingly keeping it pretty innocuous, not trying to let too many crazy things happen. I think right now it's kind of just let the tires wear in, let the cars get settled up, and focus on that. Brian Beeman, though, as I say that, wasting little time to drive it harder off the bottom. Bottle will let him through. Knows that could be a troublesome spot, but that's going to be a double stumble for her. She falls back, too. Jimmy Hayden, man, making some good little run there. As you can see, look at the wheel there, man. They are holding these things on, trying to furl these things around. Well, you can see the footwork too. They're working that throttle, working that brake, and the clutch in between. You see just the slightest bit on that camera there. That right foot being driven into the turn and turned right off into the corners and trying to hang on. As each driver has a different strategy and different kind of little position to throw themselves into. Each move and each turn definitely means something for the long haul. The Rattlesnake now starting to climb up to the gaps and climb up into position. He's got Caleb Clifton right in front of him, the driver that started the chain reaction earlier in turn 1. Jeffrey Oaks kind of also in that bind, in that battle. That only 22. His last win on a road course at the time we were recording this was on Watkins Glen. And he got it in, of all things, the Honda Civic Type Mars. He told me earlier today having to swap over to these next-gen Cup cars. Well, it's a bit of a 9-day difference. Oh, and speaking of a 9-day difference, there goes one off into the distance. Caleb Clifton, the 42, goes for a wild ride, and I think he's calling it a day. Oh my, that did not look good at all. We're going to take a look at the replay there, presented by 6 Sigma Sim Racing. We got to look at this. Didn't quite catch what happened there. I'm not sure, maybe he over-braked or he under-braked. And Colin might have got him. Oh, he was doing something on there. Oh! 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 Colin had nowhere to go there. I think that may have been a timing issue on Clifton. One more look at it from the instant replay. Watch that on board and watch the braking and the shifting through the gears. Man, Oaks got clobbered in there, and yet you look at where he went, he didn't even really get any issue out of it. Clifton was the only one that had some serious issues, unfortunately, costing him dearly. We remain green, as William Mann Sr. right now tries to keep himself with staying away from the green. Alan Norgard ripping it around there. William White, as well as Corey Abbott, continues to dictate his pace and dictate his control up on the track. All right, back to the live timing there. We had a quick little replay there. We were still showing that's our bad. We did not. The producer's getting a little sloppy over here. They forgot to turn on the live timing there. There we go. We got it back up and running though. Positioning key here, and really the battles seem to be all the way in the mid-pack to the top 5. Irons, Abbott, Norgard, White have all kind of stayed low, but Kenny McGrath, well, the only thing he's really had to worry about is just giving up any run to any of their drivers. Don trying to get up there to the throttle, Chantel Pato looking for an opening or looking for a run, looking for a seam, anything that works for him in his case. Right back onto the distance, and again, you just got to be careful about letting that rear end get up or stay in the throttle any time, because again, the way that steering mechanism works in that rear end, it actually almost kind of overtakes itself, especially kind of working with 2 manual steering sets, not a rear steer if you will, but it's almost kind of like literally using the throttle as a way to steer the rear end in, so it actually kind of tilts and twists itself in And then the car from there just kind of straightens itself out and then backs itself back into a corner. Chris Usler right now in the lap traffic zone, the number 61. It's great to always have him on the show. I know he's always said to me he struggles so much trying to race, but he loves coming out here and he still tries to have a good time with it. Gonna get right up onto S slopes though. He needs to build some speed up though before the other drivers catch him here. He's gonna be in a very bad spot there. That is a very bad spot. Oh my God, holds on. That could have been ugly. Hunter Hammer Hansen has jumped out of the car as well. He's done the 13 out of the race. Tony Westcott saying that 48 has to have literally a tough nose, not have any damage on it. Well, he didn't I don't think he came away fully clean from it. There is seemingly a little damage on the left front of that side, but yeah, it looks like they hardened up those noses a little bit. So, it's one thing I gotta give NASCAR credit for is in iRacing as well. At least they made it realistic in terms of how the damage can be done. The noses really don't give too much, and the rear ends don't seem either. Now, only we can figure out how to get the steering of the car set more towards actual short tracks and the other ovals, if you will. Besides, I guess the mile and a half, because everybody likes that so much. That's the only thing I'll say there, so. Kenny McGrath, Jimmy swapping out positions with Brian Beeman there as well. Every driver right now just kind of find their own little trail, find their own little line, at the same time trying to keep these cars in one piece. You can just see how subtle too. Now that the tires are kind of worn in, you can see how subtle they're steering and how subtle the car is actually working around. Again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that, again, this thing is bouncing around like a rag doll on a trampoline. It just does not stop jumping and bumping and going up and down like that. Austin Louder and Mike Wright out here kind of separating themselves out. Good to see the MRM network. Number 76 are right out, back out on the track here, although this is definitely probably not the best showing that he was hoping to bring to us today. Right out is no slouch though, man. I tell you, he can be a strategist and he can also run pretty hard. I've dealt with him enough on the ovals and some on the road courses to tell you, he'll give you a run for it. He'll fight hard and he will fight long. Irons right now, though. I mean, I wish I could give you something else to say about him, but guys, like, look at the times here. Look at this. He's literally making Abbott and Norgard look like they were standing still right now. How many drivers in the last season to this season did we even see that happen? I could even tell you numerous races. I can only tell you maybe like one or two of them. That even anyone who was able to at least get a sniff out of it. Irons is really making this look too easy. Is he channeling Chase Elliott down there, or did he find a way to literally bring out his inner ringer road course? I don't know. Look at this. 0.4 of a second. This guy is flying right now. Holy cow. His best lap time was a 1:11.17. Now he outdid everybody there. And his last time was a 1:12.22. Everyone else right now besides Norgard was in the 11th, was in the 12s. Trying to even get anywhere near what his lap was. It was kind of a long edge 12. He's in the Hunter in the conversation right now. That's ridiculous. Again, it's ridiculous to me because I don't see it so often, and honestly, it's hard to really for me to judge it because, again, I'm just kind of an amateur racer, so, and I'm amateur on a road course too. Well, I tell you what, though, I did practice a little bit with this car, and I'd say one thing was for sure. I tried doing what those guys did, and again, my best time was a 1:12 or was a 1:13. That was the best I could get out of my car. I couldn't get it any lower. Well, that little corner you saw there, White get, man, that car was literally on the fence and on the rails, trying to grind off that edge there. But how hard you hit that corner and how hard you hit that turn, it can just get you so out of control and so unbindingly, insanely tough. It takes a lot out of you. Brian Beeman, the first to blink here. He'll go into pit road first, so he'll be our first pit stop of the day with about 19 laps remaining. And yeah, they gotta drive a lot slower than you think, just to make sure that the cars are up to proper speeds and up to proper working order. Can be a bit of a challenge there, but it certainly makes for an interesting dynamic. See Hardcastle right now currently bringing us a new paint scheme as well this season. Got the tracker boats. Bass Pro Shops Pro Club. Have a little bit of love out there for that team, that crew. Jeff Oaks also giving us a different little ride here, the Valvoline Motor Oil 22. You know, I always like the look of the kind of that like wavy little spike as well too. I always really like that stuff, man. I think that's kind of a really sweet and underappreciated look for a car. So hats off to Oaks for getting that kind of look out and getting that kind of design out there. I think it looks pretty good for him. 18 laps left on the clock and left on the distance here. Oh, a little trouble down there for Hardcastle. Or not Hardcastle. Looks like that might have been McGraw. Yeah, I think that might have been Pottle. No, that was. Oh, there it is. That's William Man. Sorry, William Man Senior, the November 57, just getting a little too off the rails there and got a little bit loose. Man, just hanging on, just keeping it on all fours. Don was back in 12th for the longest time. Now moving into 8th as he tries to hunt down Oaks. Take a look at our lap time here, and you can see the distance here between Oaks and Con. And again, Con's had Oaks' number before here on the show, and he usually does this. So this could be a very tough little deal for Oaks to lose out another one to Con, but he's going to need to start figuring something out quickly. Parker Kelly says Pete loves driving this car on road courses, so he is a bit of a road course specialist. All right, I'll give him that then. I don't know, my favorite car to run on a road course, you guys can laugh at me all you want, but my favorite is without a doubt the street stocks. If you want to have an absolute wild time while at the same time still trying to hold on to the car and then race auto drivers, I would say that's the car for you. I've never been too big of a fan of that extremely tight edge kind of style of car like you with the Corvette, despite the fact that I won with it in this racetrack. I always love the idea of just having to fight and muscle the car because it's getting loose and because the steering is there, not with necessarily what this car does, which is basically it's just kind of all over the place and I can't really get the feel of it down as well. So that's kind of the reason why I kind of mentioned that, I even bring it up. Corey Abbott, last week's feature winner, you can see still holding down the muscle, holding down the field. Brian Beeman having some problems down there yet again, looks like, and he is having a lot of problems here coming off of the corners there. Gets out of the way of Peter Irons as Will Rempe goes into pit road. I'm not sure if Rempe may have got himself kind of stuck into a little bit of a pickle or what happened there. We'll go to the P-Team Race Team History replay. Caleb Clifton and Hunter Hansen, by the way, have left the track and left the building. They are no longer in this race, so a tough break for both of them. Looks like Rempe just got a little too aggressive here, going for the final corner and catches that clip there. Oh! And Beeman going for a wild little ride there off the turn. As Rempe just kind of scooted on by him. I don't know how Beeman's going to feel about that. That may be a little talking to for him in his case, in his mind. I mean, the good news is there was only a slight little tail whip and a spin. Got it refired though and sent it back down on around. The race leader Irons not facing any of the deficiencies or any of the troubles that both drivers put right in front of him. He remains your leader. And really, honestly, didn't even lose that any speed while he was at it. Andrew Hardcastle right now currently trying to get up the car, get up to the spar, and fight it out with the reel and run. 15 laps remain. Chantal Paddle going into pit road now, so a pit stop for her being introduced. Irons, Abbott, Norgard, White, and Hayden, your race leading top 5. It's so weird just to kind of hear these track cars, the way they efficiently change their gears to change through the bars here. Again, there is a little bit of a rundown there you have to be careful about, which is, again, you have to use a sequential shifter. These aren't H-pattern shifters they're using, by the way. So that does add to the challenge a little bit. It does add to a little bit of the consequences for each corner, each run. Doesn't, in my opinion, make too much of a difference. You still have to figure out how to work the car in. But I think overall it works pretty good. William White still searching for his first win ever here on Pizza Race TV. The driver from the UK, the United Kingdom itself, from the 2135simware.com 43. Or the 213simware.com, not 2135. I always get confused with the 5 down there. I apologize in advance. Another round of pit stops being made up on the track. As Corey Abbott, Ailets Norgard, William White, and Kenny McGrath go in. Jimmy Hayden staying on out. Peter Irons trying now to gain the speed and gain the traction to get onto the field and onto the bump. Take a look from our chopper cam. Go get the chopper on that there, producers. There we go. Gonna be an interesting pit stop here. Let's keep an eye out here. Norgard will be first down, or excuse me, Abbott be first out. William White late to the party and late onto the scene. And take a look at this. Abbott only taking fuel. He only took fuel on that one. Norgard as well. But the problem is Irons already got ahead of Norgard. Yeah. And guess what? He's really right behind Abbott too. Abbott, I don't know if that was a smart strategy there, my friend. Irons has got a fresh set and he's got fuel. Oh, but Abbott, my word, my. He blocked it. He's not going to let him get through that easily. Irons knows he's going to have to make a little bit of a run for it. William Mann Sr. up high side. So is Mike Rideout trying to stay around the race leaders here. Battle for third going down. Oaks and Hayden way across the back. And that might be a way to help keep their chances alive. But this is a lot of work to be put at right now. Irons is going to get himself a golden opportunity down this straightaway. Looking to the right. Will Abbott block? Abbott braking. Yeah, down to the turn. It's still Abbott. Irons can't quite get around him just yet. Got to be careful. There's a time penalty down there if you get too far out. You can only drive it so far wide. I think Irons might have figured that out. Not sure if he had a time penalty there or not, but that was pretty far wide. That was a bit of a mistake in my opinion. 12 laps to go. Best lap times on your screen right now, and currently again, gotta reiterate there that 1:11.17 is the fastest so far, set by Irons, but at 1:11.79 set by Abbott certainly seems to keep up his consistency. Jimmy Hayden with a 1:11.56 though, nothing to snooze at here. Hayden knows he needs to stay in control and stay in position to where he's at right now. This is extremely crucial for him to drive where he's at and do what he's doing. Jeff Oaks, much of the same, with 11 laps left to go. Jeff and them maybe also saving a little bit of that fuel too and trying to help themselves out. Considering Abbott's having to fight off Irons. That's not only slowing him down, but it's also slowing down Irons. And now look at Peter to the right side. Looking around, oh my, that could have been troublesome. That was Austin Louder there off turn 1. And look at this, 3 wide through the S turns, and Irons steals it. Oh, Abbott had everything wrapped up and figured out just right, but he forgot about lap traffic. And now Peter Irons is now all on his own. Austin Lauder literally starting a chain reaction that I don't even think he was expecting. What has happened to the number 14? We're going to the replay here to take a look at this one real quick, but this was a very tough spot to be put into, considering what was on the line here. We're going to kind of jump around here in terms of the scope here of this position. There you see what happened. Now here's the big dilemma. Look at this. Abbott, side by side, he had to work his way around. He's hoping Irons gets around it too. Look at Irons though, having to work around Schuessler in a beautiful corner. Again, that usually is a corner you can get really loose on. He made it look way, way too easy. That's impressive. Yorkar trying to catch up to Abbott as well and put the ledge.gg ahead of that number 21. And Irons is now your race leader again. Jeffrey Oakes and Kenny McGrath are all gone into pit road. Excuse me, Jimmy Hayden was the one I was referring to there. Or Andrew Hardcastle, the other one in pit road now too. 10 laps left to go. Timing is everything here. I am genuinely stunned right now with Irons. Irons indeed must really like what he's been driving, must really like his performance here, and seems like he now knows what to do. What a wild race this has been. We've had some extremely crazy moments in between with 9 laps left to go. Still there is a chance and a possibility that gosh, he does come back on out, but I really don't think anybody wants to think about that. Hang on down there, Bottle. Well, the throttle Chantel Bottle, we just kind of went onto her car there, and she was about ready to lose turn 1 out of the gate. Onboard as they sheds out of the bus stop. We'll focus back on the rest of the field here. Jeff Folks, 8 spots up. Hard charge of the day here. I'm not really surprised, honestly. Again, this is a track he really likes, and he knows how to run it with the best of them. I've tried to take him down on this track, and I've tried to beat him out. I came close, but honestly, my problem is I just can't quite get around with a Honda Civic Type R. Now, if he and I raced this with the Truck Series, or maybe with a street stock, I don't know. I think I might be able to give him a run for his money. I'm just saying. That's a little bit biased on my end, so I'll try not to be too biased here, but I'm just thinking that maybe we can have a little fun with it. So, Oaks, call me up sometime. Schuessler, despite the fact that he's been pretty much in a very wild situation here or there, the 61 has at least been able to stay ahead of transition, stay ahead of some drivers in this case like Chad Lancaster, Caleb Clifton, Hunter Hansen, and Arthur Clements. So this will be a decent day for him here. William Ann Sr., another decent day as well with a 15th spot. It's kind of where he really likes to try to hang around at and try to keep himself out of trouble with, as the rest of the field right now deal with their own pressure in their own regards to what's going on the track. You can just see these cars, man, they are literally on the binders, they're on the rails, they are not even sure where they're at other than just completely all over the place. Such precision and control, though, really makes for an integral part of this kind of racing. 7 laps left to go. Will Rimpey hang on down there a little bit loose and now a little tight, and that natural ice not quite as natural as he probably wants the drink to feel right about now. Laps running out, time running out as well here for these drivers to make any last minute decisions, any last minute choices to try to hold on with. Generally, right now at this point, I think it's just kind of safe to say that Norgard and Abbott are really the only two that really have a chance to fight it out with a little bit in the top 5, because Peter Irons right now is on a whole different level. This guy, for some reason today, has absolutely just left this place and left the building with only the win in his mind and on his spot here. And again, I don't understand, like, how is he making this look so easy? I just don't understand. Like, I mean, I'm all for literally having drivers show their craft, show their style, but it's like, man, when I see this, I just want to know, how can they do it? How is it they do it? I'm watching it carefully, and I watch every single lap he's thrown on my monitor that you guys have seen too. And yeah, he's got a rhythm, he's got a pattern, obviously, but I tried this, and I just could not get the car to stick. I couldn't get the speed to stick. And yet he just makes it look like the car's not even doing anything. I don't know, am I going completely insane, or is this just how this car is? I don't know. Ryan Beamer right now currently holding in the 9th spot here as he's trying to bring the other natural light machine from the grave and onto the spotlight here. It's all natural and it's all generated to try to hold up the power and hold up the run. And he's currently laid the load a little bit. Now he's just trying to build up the speed and build up the muscle in this car. You can just hear though that speed, man. Those soft time and off throttle, man. Oh my! It just gets me every time. It's like I hear it. It's like I'm just so not used to hearing it because I'm so used to just seeing drivers really in those corners and that turn just absolutely slamming the gas pedal down and not lifting. Well, Ailton Norgard, without a doubt, will be one of the drivers to watch out for when he gets back out on the ovals. But for today, anyway, he's going to have to suffer another loss here. The second time he has not been to victory lane this season. Hunting down to the turns. Look at this. Jimmy Hayden actually making a little bit of a fight back here. The Lava Man, 24. Chevrolet Camaro having a little bit of a fun time putting up on Elance Norgard here. 2 laps left to go, by the way, here on the show. Green flag high in the air. Well, this is going to be your battle. I said it was Abbott and Norgard. Well, Abbott got ahead. Now looking to bring it down. Running it back off right now. Irons just about to hit it up to the start-finish line here. Just a couple more corners to go. Hayden and Norgard having a great battle here for this 3rd spot. The podium on the line. But off the distance into the final 2 turns. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your white flag lap presented by Six Sigma Sim Racing for the number 9 of Peter Irons. Corey Abbott laying low in the distance and in the background. Peter Irons just doing his thing. Here comes turn number 1 here for Hayden and Norgard. We'll see how they handle it. Norgard, he opened the door. Oh, Hayden, he's trying down there. He's trying to get him off that turn there. Irons trying to keep speed up and keep the power away from Abbott. Abbott trying one last time, one last chance to try to hold the breath and build the speeds up. One wrong move from Irons and he gives it up. Hayden trying to get him. Entering into the bus stop. Can he get a little bit more? No, he still can't. Still no go there. Down the stretches. Down in the final corners here, down to the final turns. Peter Irons, the number 9 Chevrolet Camaro. Ecogrenic numbers Camaro is going to bring this one home to victory lane. Checkers are out. The 9 of Irons wins it at Watkins Glen. Down the stretch, Abbott will finish 2nd to the final leg of the race. It's going to be Norgard holding off Mr. Jimmy Hayden. What a race and a great battle to end it out. What a performance. What a performance. There he is, race fans. Your race winner, Peter Irons. And he's going to celebrate quite a bit with this one. What a performance, to say the least. Race results now on your screen here, ladies and gentlemen, presented by Six Sigma Sim Racing. And, oh my, what a day it was. Peter Irons takes it home. Corey Abbott goes 2nd. Elance Norgard 3rd. Jimmy Hayden going to take home 4th. 5th to William White. Another top 5 for all those guys, except for Hayden, going to bring one home this time around. Kenny McGrath goes 6th. 7th to Jeff Oakes. Robert Kahn 8th. 9th to Brian Beeman. Chantel Pottle, top 10 for her to round out her day. It's everybody else just rounds this field out and throws it down to the hammer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear from your top 3 drivers today. This should be an interesting one here. So I'm currently waiting in the lineup here and waiting for them to know. Well, currently waiting on our top 3. I don't know if we'll be hearing from them here. I think we're just going to kind of pop them up here and in and out. I think we'll give them another chance, though, and see if they'll come down. Corey Abbott, second place finisher today. Gonna take a nice home little second spot. He did win it last time out. Oh, here they come now. They're coming onto the call here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So time to hear from them now, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to give them a minute. It was all. Here they come. Off the corners here. Here we go. Now we got them all turned down and turned into the position. Your third place finisher today, Ailton Norgard, going to take it home for a top 3 today. And Ailton, once more, sir, you had to really hold the craft and nail this one down, but it just kind of came down to you and Hayden there for that battle for third. What's going through your mind there between him?
Yeah, I was just trying to stay ahead. I lost a lot of time to some of the lap cars being in bad places, but by the last lap, all I could do was park it on the apex and not let him get an easy pass on me, and it worked out for me.
Definitely, indeed. Now, I know this was probably one of the tougher races you got to deal with. I mean, but having to switch it from an oval to the road course end of things, how'd you feel about that as well?
I mean, typically I do pretty well in road courses, in stock cars especially. So I was expecting to do pretty okay this week. Kind of disappointing that my season so far, it's the first time I've been on here this season, but I was hoping for second or first, but Peter was just too fast and Corey was too consistent, so it didn't work out that way.
Certainly in the case indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, as you round this out today at Watkins Glen, I got to ask you, who do you want to thank her for this one?
As usual, the teammates at Abbott Motorsports, Corey, Jimmy, Andrew, Caleb, got a couple more this season. And you for the cast, and Ben and Carrie for running the league.
For sure there. All right, well, nevertheless, though, Ailton, great to hear from you again, and congratulations bringing this one on home for third.
Thanks.
Ailton Norgard, ladies and gentlemen, going to take it home for a third place today here. Going now down to our second place finisher on the bunch, though, ladies and gentlemen. He now joins me in the number 21, ladies and gentlemen. Last week's feature winner, Corey Abbott, going to bring on home again. And Corey, well, my friend, you had a lot on your plate and a lot on your mind, and you had some strategy there, but then all of a sudden lap traffic kind of got you.
Yeah, lap traffic was tough tonight, to say the least. Yeah, I really wish the fight there with Peter went a little differently. It was just a weird spot and a tough place on the track to do anything. So I figured backing out and at least giving both of us a chance to fight it out instead of wrecking in the S's would be the best way to go about it.
Well, it's definitely a good decision. Very tough decision, obviously, to make. But, I mean, the fact that you went 3 wide in that S's to begin with and came out clean, I mean, I would think it's kind of a win-win. But, I mean, I know you definitely were kind of hoping and praying maybe to get this one a little bit more on your side of the things, weren't you?
Yeah, right off the rip after that caution, when we finally got the long run, I didn't really have the confidence to run as fast as Peter was, and he just sailed off into the sunset. So when I saw that he was behind me after the pit stop, I just was trying to turn and burn as much as I could. He was just really fast tonight, and I just never got a chance.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, I know this one is a little hard to kind of take, but I mean, hey, you're still walking away with your second place finish today, so you want to thank you for all that.
I got to thank Abbott Motorsports. Leighton and Jimmy Hayden had pretty good runs today. They're in third and fourth. William White doesn't race with us in this series, but he races for us in LA Arca. So glad to see someone else part of the Abbott Motorsports campus got top 5. Proud of Andrew. He doesn't really run road courses, but did pretty well. So almost got a top 10. And then Caleb Clifton was fast in practice, really fast in qualifying, just had bad luck again in the race.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, congratulations coming out second today here. And Corey, we'll talk to you next time on out here, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Abbott, your second place finisher of the day. Well, only one driver left to talk with here, and that is, of course, Peter Irons. He is your race runner here today, but not seeing him around on the bunch, so I think maybe he's going to call it a night here. I think he's probably just a little too excited. Probably wanted to go out and probably go up to the local Starbucks here in New York, or probably just trying to find himself a Waffle House somewhere. I don't think they have the Waffle Houses here on the east side of the state still, my friend. But nevertheless here, what a performance here for Peter Irons. He absolutely deserved this one and took this one in stride. What a race and what a day for him and the team. So, race fans, that's really all about to do it for you guys here today. We want to thank again Six Sigma Sim Racing and all you fans out here for coming on out. Thank you so much to everybody that's tuned in for the support. And again, be sure to follow up Six Sigma Sim Racing. They're the #1 Moza and Sim Magic dealer on the market with sim chassis and sim in the sim market to match. They are the top flying and the top notch product to get today. So be sure to visit them up, and a big thank you to everyone for tuning on in. We love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Thanks so much for tuning on in here. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies on PT Race TV.